start, come into that space and perhaps just feeling the support around us and knowing that it's here with us right now and it's also with us tomorrow. I'm going to start crying. It's going to be with us tonight and Monday, and we're here together with each other. And then we have our thoughts that are with each other throughout the week. Where your attention is focused becomes your experience. Where your attention is focused becomes your experience. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes a thought comes in and that's the truth. Oh, that's true. And then I pay attention to that thought, and then I have another thought attached to that, and before I know it, I've created this story in my mind, and there's really no reality or basis in it. And that becomes my experience, or however long I allow it to be my experience, until I realize, whoa, Kellen, just a minute here. You have a little bit of time on your hands, so let's just come back to reality. Where your attention is focused becomes your experience. And that's so much of our yogic practice, is that directed awareness, of directed attention. And when we have that directed attention, we then enter into meditation. When that's prolonged attention, we have meditation. And before we know it, we're completely absorbed. And there's no beginning, no end to the experience. There's no separation. So for today's practice, perhaps thinking, what do we want to experience in our practice today? And we can bring our attention and our focus to that if our mind wanders. Bringing our attention to what we want to experience today. So we're all in different shapes. Each one of us is in a different shape right now. So from wherever you are, let's begin to bring our awareness to the way the breath enters our body in whatever shape that we're in. Notice the breath leaving the body. Feel the breath enter the body. And then feel it leave the body. Now let's bring our attention to what we want to experience and allow that experience to flow in with the breath. And then follow that experience with the out breath. Draw that experience in with the in breath. And out with the out breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. And stay with that for a few more rounds of breath. And now from wherever you are, let's bring some options into our cat-cow. So maybe you want to come onto your hands and knees for your cat-cow. Maybe you want to come into a seated cat-cow. Maybe you even want to come into a high kneel cat-cow. We're going to bring the same awareness and the same movements to wherever we are. And I think we're all quite adept at all of these different variations. So I'll just kind of cue the breathing and the bend of the back, you could say. And wherever you're at, just move through that on your own. So on the inhale, create that drop in the low back and lift the heart and the chest, lift the gaze. On an exhale, let's round that spine, that pelvis tilts or tucks, and the chin goes to the chest. We'll inhale, tilt the pelvis, the belly drops, the low back rounds, the head up or back. And then exhale, cat, back. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then we'll inhale to cow. And then exhale, finding a flat back. Now we can swing or sway, whichever word you prefer to describe, just moving those hips side to side. And now it looks like we're all in tabletop. So from here, just swing the hips to the left or the right. Imagine you had a big tail. You wanted to just sweep that tail across the floor behind you. That tailbone moving side to side with the hips. And let's bring the hips to the middle. And if our fingers are pointing forward, let's just try to point the fingers kind of towards the long edges of the mat, or maybe just angle them towards the long edge. It's going to give a different experience to the wrists. And then how about we tap the tops of the feet to the ground. Maybe a little thunder sound effect. Maybe you inhale and you exhale out loud and you make a like when you're a kid or maybe you're a grown up and you're driving over along a bumpy road. And let's do that again with the vibration of the breath and the movement. Just let it go. And now maybe slow those foot taps down. Bring those hands to face towards the front of the mat. Again, let's give those wrists a break. Maybe coming into a high kneel and rolling wrists. Maybe you come onto your forearms and you find a puppy pose. Just relaxing through the hands, the wrists, the arms. You can melt the heart into puppy. Or if you want to find that high kneel, you can come onto your knees and hold the wrists. Roll the neck. And then exhale, let's bring those hands under the shoulders. Finding our tabletop, we'll inhale to extend the right leg back. And let's just roll the ankle a couple of times. Maybe just noticing if the foot's in line with the hip, how that glute is a little more active. If your leg is higher, notice how the upper back or the low back has to kind of engage to move that foot. So just be mindful of how the height of that leg affects the body. So you can roll that right foot around. Point and flex the foot. You notice the core is engaged. And now let's bring that right knee down. Let's walk our hands forward and we'll transition through puppy to go to the other side. So drop the heart, relax the wrists. And then we'll inhale back up to tabletop. From here, find that position of kind of stability with the right knee and hands, and we'll extend that right or that left leg back on an inhale. Find that spot that's right for you on the back or the glute, whatever you want to kind of bring that experience to you, right? And then move the foot around, rolling the ankle, pointing and flexing the foot. You can come onto your fists anytime in a tabletop to give their wrists a little break. Just move the ankle. Now from here, bring that knee down again. Walk the arms forward, finding puppy pose. Melting the heart down. Sits bones reach for the sky. Breathe in. Now let's exhale. Maybe bring the hands in prayer in front of us. Bring the forehead to the floor. And then we'll exhale. Bring those hands underneath the shoulders again. Ground the left knee, ground the hands. Inhale, the right leg goes back. And now this time, let's cross it over that left foot and bring the right ball of the foot to the ground towards the left side of the mat. And then we'll rock back and forth. And let's bring our awareness, our attention onto the experience of stretching out the toes, the bottoms of the toes, the ball of the foot, and maybe the entire sole of the foot stretches as we ground the toes and rock back and forth. And now let's bring some stillness to the shoulders, shoulders over wrists. Lift that leg up and bring it back so it's in line with the hip. So it's not crossed over the left side anymore. And let's bring it out to the right side. So the right foot comes to the ground, the hands are in front. And now come into puppy again. And maybe we notice the inside of that right leg. Maybe your attention is elsewhere and you don't really experience that active inside of that right leg. Maybe you notice somewhere else where you're bringing your attention. Breathe in and out. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, bring those hands under the shoulders. That right leg is still to the side. So we're going to bring that right knee in. So now the knees meet. And we'll inhale, extend through the left leg. And then cross that left leg over the right. So it's on the right side of the mat. And then we're going to stretch out the toes and the sole of the foot on the left foot. Rock side to side. Maybe you pause in a certain area. Maybe you quickly, maybe you kind of roll the foot around. However you want to stretch out your toes. Now when you're ready, bring that knee in to meet the right. And then send that leg out to the side. The left leg is out to the side, left foot on the floor. And then walk the hands forward. And this is our variation of puppy. With that leg to the side. Really nice job. Where your attention is focused becomes your experience. We'll exhale, slowly rock the hands under the shoulders. Bring that left leg in. And now from here, we're going to come into our rabbit pose, which has all the benefits of headstand. If you have headstand in your practice, you could come into headstand. But if you don't, then bring the toes to the floor. So you're kind of as if you were going to come onto the ball of your foot, but your toes are curled. And bring your hands under your shoulders. Now bring the crown of your head between your hands. So your forehead is parallel with your knees. Maybe you bring your head just a little closer to the knees. You can bring the hands to interlace behind you and reach to the sky. Or you can bring your hands towards those heels. Or just keep them at the side of your head. The weight is in the knees and the hands and the feet. It's not in the head. I mean, there's a little weight on the head, but you're not putting all your weight on your head. It's mostly in the knees and towards the glutes of the feet. Let's breathe in. Breathe out. And now slowly, we're going to exhale to bring the head up so the forehead's parallel with the floor now. And then we slowly rise. If you want, you can come into a high kneel. If you want, you can curl the toes and sit back on your heels. You can point those toes and sit back on the heels, but we'll come up out of our headstand, out of our rabbit, into a little seated position, however feels right for you, and we'll bring our awareness inward with our eyes closed if that's comfortable. Draw the breath in and out. And then when you're ready, let's come and do a downward facing dog, another inversion. Our rabbit was an inversion. Our downward facing dog is an inversion. So curl the toes under, lift the sits bones up. And then the heart is a little higher than the head. This is purifying for the body, cleansing for the system, pacifies the nervous system. It can also be invigorating. So where you focus your attention, that's your experience. So maybe you think, oh, I want to be purified physically. You can bring that into your space. Maybe like, oh yes, I want invigoration. You're going to notice those things that you bring your attention to. Just a couple more breaths. Now let's ground the hands, ground the left foot, reach the right foot, right leg to sky, three-legged downward facing dog. Ekapada, Pada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe in. And then lower that right leg down. Let's pause, bend the knees, drop the knees down. Let's bring the shoulders over the hips, come into a high kneel together. Hands reach above the head. From here, let's reach over to the right. That same side that we just brought to the sky with the foot. And then go over through the middle, sweeping over to the left. And then exhale back to the middle. Release those hands, maybe shake them out, bring them side to side. Yeah, release those shoulders. And then when you're ready, sweep the arms to the sky, fold it forward, hands come down, toes curl under. Let's find Adho Mukha Svanasana. Focus your attention maybe on your sankalpa from the beginning of class, or maybe on this shape. Inhale, reach that left leg to sky. Point the toe to the sky. Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale, bring that knee through. Let's step that left foot between the hands, lower the right knee down, and then we'll rise up to low lunge. Maybe lift the hands to sky, if that feels good, or hands to the hips. Breathe in. And now let's exhale to lean forward, kind of dropping the hips down. That left knee might come past the ankle, and that's okay. Breathe in. And then exhale to come back up. The hips lift a little bit, and then lower down. We're just kind of rocking forward and back, and then rock the hips back. Exhale, let's plant the hands. Send the left knee back to meet the right. And now with the hands planted, tops of the feet down, lower down the chin and the chest. Sits bones reach to sky. Nice, guys. Breathe in. Exhale. And now inhale, lower the belly, lower the low ribs, and lift the heart. Maybe the hands hover for baby cobra. Breathe out and in. And then plant the hands. Exhale, press up and back. And then here we are, and kind of in a tabletop. And we'll bring that right knee forward. The right foot forward, the right knee bends, and left knee is down. And then find your low lunge on the other side. Good. Any variation with those hands. Another breath in. And on an exhale, we'll begin to just bend the knee forward and back. Kind of more of like a leaning forward and back because the leg is bent. We're just kind of dropping the hips down, and the knee might come past the ankle. Giving ourselves that range of motion accessibility. And now exhale, bring that knee straight. Let's bring our arms up, reaching to the sky. Now exhale, curl the toes of the left foot under. Let's lift up and do a crescent lunge. Making your way up really however feels good, but try that if it is accessible. Follow the left foot grounds, right foot grounds, right knees bent, breathe in. And now exhale, bring the hands to frame the foot. Let's step the left foot kind of towards the right heel. So the left toes are close to that right heel, and bend that right knee and maybe come into a standing split. The left leg kind of lifts, the heart is a little bit higher than the head is lower. The left leg can be high or low. And now exhale, lower that left foot to meet the right. Let's sit down in chair for a breath as we lift the arms. Yes. And then we'll exhale up to stand. Lower the hands down to the side. Tadasana. Ground the left foot. Feel into your experience. Notice where your attention is right now. And with that left foot grounded, step that right foot back. And here's our crescent lunge on the other side. You can bring the arms to sky or bring them to the hips, wherever feels right for you. A couple of breaths here. Those hips are lifted. Finding your balance. Breathe in. And then together we'll lift our arms to sky, reach through the fingertips, fold the hands forward to frame the foot, and then bring that right foot kind of close to that left heel, as close as you can as we get ready for our standing splits. Bend that knee, ground the hands, and then float that right foot up. Straighten the left leg as much as feels stable for your standing splits. Breathing in and out. And now let's exhale to bring the right foot to meet the left. Let's pause here and shimmy out the legs. So maybe we bring our block in front of the feet. I like to do that sometimes to just kind of give my hand something to rest on so I can kind of feel in the back of my legs a little more. And sometimes if we press into the blocks, we notice it in the upper back, get a little stretch. So just some different things, again, to experience, right? If you don't want to stretch out that upper back so much, then you can leave the blocks out of the equation. You can bend the knees, opening the backs of the legs in different ways. Now from here, bend the knees, we'll rise to stand again. We mountain pose, any variation with those arms, prayer, or to the side, or to the hips. We'll exhale. Breathe in. Now exhale, ground the right foot, step the left foot back, maybe like half a meter, maybe whatever kind of feels stable for your pyramid pose. That left foot can kind of angle out towards that long edge a lot or just a little. Now bring that right hip back, the left hip kind of forward. They're not exactly square. That's might not feel good on the knee. So the hips aren't truly square, but the right hip is kind of back and the left is forward. Yeah, wiggle out the shoulders, wiggle out those arms. If you want, bring the arms above the head, maybe find prayer pose. Let's straighten that right leg. Exhale, fold halfway, kind of hinging is more like it. We're going to hinge the heart parallel with the floor. Feel that core strong, the torso strong. Maybe notice a strong low back. Notice if you want to bring the feet closer together. Or angle the feet differently. Notice the hips. Yes, you can separate the hands or keep them together. If you want, exhale and fold all the way. Maybe the hands touch that big toe and you bow over that front leg. Try to keep that right hip going back and that left hip crease kind of coming forward. See how that experience feels. Parsvottanasana. Breathing in and out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Let's breathe in. Exhale, bend that knee just a little bit so we can press about halfway up pressing into the feet. Notice as you press that right foot down, the back of that right leg is active. We're going to come up halfway. Breathe in. If you have a block handy, you can grab a block. You don't necessarily need one, but bring that left hand on the inside of the right leg and reach the right arm to the sky for revolved triangle. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now exhale, bring that right hand down. So maybe the fingertips kind of frame the foot. If you have your block, bring it in front of that foot. It's on the left side of the foot, but it's forward towards the front of the mat. Place the hand on the mat and sweep that right arm to sky. Revolve triangle again. So we're twisting in the same direction as that straight front leg is on. And now shift the weight to that foot and see if you can't lift that left foot off the ground just a little bit, coming into a revolved half moon. Maybe it comes up a lot, maybe it doesn't come up much, but just try it on for size and see how this feels as an experience. Breathing in and out. And now let's exhale to bring that hand towards that block, kind of towards the floor. If you want, bring the hands to the ground, come into standing splits, or bring that left foot to meet the right and come into a forward fold. So the left leg can reach up for the sky again, hands on the earth, or come into forward fold. And now let's all meet in a forward fold, lowering that left leg if it was in splits. Maybe you ground that left foot, give that right leg a break. And let's make our way to stand, inhaling as we lift. Nice job, guys. Exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, breathe out, opening eyes if they were closed. Let's ground that left foot. Gently step the right foot back, setting up for pyramid on the other side. Maybe we bring that block towards the right side of the mat. The right foot maybe angles towards the long edge, maybe more towards the front. Get those hands in the position that feels right for you. And then we'll sweep them up to sky. Reach through the fingertips, but kind of lower those shoulders. And now bring that left hip back. The right hip crease comes forward. Grounding the feet. Breathe in. And then we'll begin to hinge on an exhale as we shift the weight into the left foot. Drawing the strength from the core so we don't just flop forward. That back is active and the front of the core is active. Fingertips can reach or they can be in prayer. You can even have your hands on your hips, or maybe you have your hands in prayer behind your back. Breathe in. And then when you're ready, we'll exhale to bow over that straight leg. And focus your gaze towards that knee or towards that foot. Breathe in. Now on an exhale, bring that right hand towards the block. And then you can bring that left hand to sky. If you don't have that block or you don't want to use the block, just bring that right hand on the inside of that left leg. And we'll open towards the left, revolve triangle. Pavrita Trikonasana. Notice what happens if you have that active core in the front and the back. Breathe in. And then exhale, bring that left hand down so the fingertips are kind of on both sides of the foot. Give yourself a breath. And then exhale, bring that hand to the block again, and we can lift back into our twisted triangle, revolved triangle. And then maybe this time you bring that block forward just a little and you lift that right leg coming into your revolved half moon. Yeah. Where your attention is focused becomes your experience. What are you experiencing here? On an exhale, you can release that left hand down, coming into your standing splits again, or maybe you come right into a forward fold and let that back hang heavy. If you're in those standing splits, notice your experience. And then from the forward fold, let's meet there if you're not there already. Let's bring our feet apart, maybe mat distance, maybe hip distance. Let's bend the knees, we'll rise up to stand. Feet wide apart. And then with our arms out, kind of like a Y, so our feet are wide, our arms are wide. Bend the knees, exhale, hands at the waist, arms are past the ears like a Y. And then we'll exhale to bring the right hand towards that left foot, and the left arm reaches for sky. And now maybe we kind of bring that crown of the head down, and we feel the benefits of an inversion, that purifying, cleansing energy of an inversion. Exhale, bend the knees, and sweep the arm up to sky again. So our feet are wide, that mat distance apart. Arms out like a wide mat distance, wide arms. Exhale, bend the knees, and then reach that left hand down towards the right shin or the right foot. Reach the sky with the right arm. Breathe in. And now exhale, let's bring the hand to the middle. Let both hands dangle underneath the shoulders. Now, if it's accessible to you, let's drop the hips and find our malasana. If that's not quite as accessible, then just bring the feet into goddess or bring them into that sumo. So we're just kind of bringing the knees towards the pinky edge of the foot, dropping the hips to open, dropping the pelvis to open the hips. So whether it's malasana or whether it's a sumo or a goddess, let's be here for 5 breaths. I know sometimes 5 breaths feels longer in some poses than others, so you give yourself those long, extended, straight legs whenever you need to. We don't have to take every thought so seriously. We don't have to identify with every emotion so immensely. And keep our awareness on our thoughts. Just noticing our thoughts. Another breath in. And from wherever you are, slowly begin to rise up. Maybe as you rise, you begin to lift the heels. So you're on the balls of your feet rising up. What an experience. So heels lift off the ground. And then when you get to kind of a mountain pose, bring your arms to sky. And that's your palm tree pose, Talasana. On the balls of the feet, heels lift. And now maybe slowly lowering those heels. Turning those feet towards the front of the mat. And let's lower the arms down to the side. And find our mountain pose. Exhale. Let's breathe in. And breathe out. And exhale, blink the eyes open if they're closed. Ground that right foot. And then bring the ball of the left foot. Come on the ball of the left foot. The left heel lifts. And let's turn that left knee out to the side. Maybe bring hands to the hips. Maybe if you want, you bring that left foot to the calf. Maybe you bring that toe to the ground. Maybe you bring that left foot to the inner thigh. And find your tree pose. Any variation with the hands. And then notice where your attention goes in this shape. Let's exhale, bring that left knee in, and then lower the foot to the ground. Shake out the knees, release the hands. And now let's find our block. Place your block on the floor. And then let's bring our right foot onto that block. Gonna come into tree on the block. So set that up next to a wall if you need to. I've got mine handy here behind me. Let's ground into that block with the right foot. Find your hands wherever they need to be to support you. Turn that left knee out. And then maybe that left foot just stays on that block. Maybe the left foot comes onto the calf. Let's exhale, bring that left knee back to the front. Lower that left knee so it's right beside that right foot. And then gently, mindfully lower the left foot. It's going to be lower than that right foot. Step off the block, yeah. And then shake it out. Let's do that on the left foot. We'll do it without the block first. So ground into that left foot. Notice how the right foot even feels on the ground. It's like when you step off the elevator. Stepping off that block with that right foot. Ground the left foot. Bend the right knee. Open that right knee out to the side. And then find that home for the foot. And knowing that it's really supportive in this balancing pose to find something that's not moving and focus that gaze, that drishti, on a non-moving point. Now exhale to bring that right knee forward and lower that right foot to the ground. Let the hands go, shake the legs out. Maybe notice how the right bottom of the foot feels in comparison to that left bottom of the foot, just seeing if there's a difference. And now let's come on to the block with the left foot. So grounding the left foot on the block. And just being mindful of, the hips, because that right hip is lower than the left. And the right foot, it's obvious that the right foot is lower, but just be aware as you ground into that foot and then feel that right foot kind of lift. And then as you begin to come into your Vrksasana on the other side, we bend the knee first and then turn it out. And then find your tree. Be here for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. We'll exhale to bring that knee to the middle. And now we'll slowly lower that right foot. Bend the left knee as you do. Lower the right foot to the ground and step off the block with the left foot. Feel your feet on the earth. Any variation with the hands, finding mountain pose. Maybe you curl the toes as if you were on the beach. You were feeling the sand beneath your toes. We do that with your toes on this earth. Maybe you spread the toes open and lower the toes down and ground those feet into the earth again. Maybe notice a sway side to side, forward and back, or maybe there's no sway at all. Let's sweep our arms up to sky. You can keep your eyes closed, or you can close them if they're not closed. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, maybe eyes are closed. Just breathe in. And then exhale, making your way down to child's pose. If you want to move through a cobra or a vinyasa, you can. Any support for your child's pose that you need, maybe a pillow between the heels and the glutes, but finding child's pose. And maybe when you get to child's pose, you kind of curl your hands close as if you were kind of gripping the sand, just feeling the sand between your fingers, just closing, kind of an opening the hands. And then spread those fingers wide and press those hands down to the floor, child's pose. On your own time, lifting the hips out of child's pose, coming onto your stomach. The hands can be a pillow for the forehead. Pause. Then bring that right knee out to the side, kind of coming into our tadpole, so the right knee may be in line with the hip. You can bring that right foot on the inside of that left leg, so it's more like a tree on your stomach, or that right ankle can be kind of in line with that right knee. And press that right knee into the ground and notice the leg respond, or you can just let that leg be passive wherever you want your experience. Now exhale, send that right leg long, and then we'll bring the left knee out to the side in line with the hip. Ankle can be in line with that knee, so it's kind of like 90 degrees with that ankle and leg. Or you can bring that foot kind of towards the thigh, towards the midline. And then when you're ready, exhale to bring that left leg long. And then slowly in your own time, making your way to your back for Shavasana. Or maybe you want to lie on your stomach for Shavasana today. If there's any asana that we didn't get to that you would really like to bring into your space today, go ahead and bring that into your space. And perhaps beginning to bring some awareness to the breath and perhaps counting in for 4. And exhaling for 4. Whatever shape you're in, you can just bring that into your space. Inhaling and exhaling for 4. Letting go of that count whenever you'd like. Giving yourself rest. Giving yourself permission to experience rest, integration, absorption of your practice. There's no more need for effort. Now you're welcome to remain in your shavasana for the remaining couple minutes of class. However, if you'd like to close with pranayama and slowly begin to make your way up to a seated position. Again, reminding yourself that there's no rush, and that it's your practice. Feeling yourself entirely present in this new position, this seated position. I'd like to offer our alternate nostril breathing to close class together. So if that's in your practice and you have a different ratio of count that I'm offering, please feel free to do that. Yeah, blow your nose before we start if you need to. In your left hand, you can find your Yana Mudra, your index and thumb together, and the 3 fingers are out. Just relax them in your lap, and on your nose, we'll place the ring finger and the thumb, and then your index and middle can be either on the third eye, or they can be folded into the hand. So whichever one feels more comfortable. And together we'll inhale and exhale to a 6 count. If you have a different count for your own practice, please do so. We'll close the right. We'll inhale on the left for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close left, exhale right for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale right for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left for 1, 2, 3. Close left, exhale right for 6, 5. Inhale right for 1, 2. Close right, exhale left for 6, 5, 4. Inhale left for 1. Exhale right for 6. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. And then release your alternate nostril breathing. Feel your natural breath in the body. And we'll bring our hands to our hearts. Where your attention is focused becomes your experience. Let's exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste.